And now you purchased the practice.
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that because, I came in as an associate first because I wanted to learn how to do so many of the business things. Like, I've run a business in the past, but there's always ins and outs and ups and downs and things you have to learn. And I didn't want to have to learn those on my dime. I figured I would try and learn them on somebody else's dime while I got paid for it. So that worked out well. I knew going into school and coming out that I was going to buy the practice from him because I just didn't want to build something from scratch. I knew that wasn't where my biggest strengths lived. I knew I was better at systems and refining and finding the pieces to go together versus trying to get there from scratch. So that was why I purchased the practice. And yeah, I've been nudging the edges and trying to build it out ever since.
Right. And just over the time I've known you, there's been some ups and downs, right? I mean, obviously COVID was a big factor, and just kind of changed things, especially up there in Canada, and so all those fun restrictions and whatnot. Is it right to say that it's kind of recently, not that there's only things that you've done now, and we'll unpack what that looks like, but was it accurate to say that it's only recently that you've kind of found yourself like where you're going, you know what, I'm ready to stink and scale this sucker?
Kind of. I think it's gotten to the point where I've got all the other pieces in place that I feel like it can scale without everything breaking that are harder pieces to fix.
Right.
And so from a business standpoint, I did things totally backwards and would not suggest people do it that way. Generally, you should get good at the marketing and get people through the door first so that then you can get busy, find the other things that break, and then fix those. I am weird and dumb in that way. And that I wanted to get all the pieces in place first so I knew things could be good to scale. So financially, it's not the best way to do it, and you probably shouldn't. If I'm giving advice to up-and-coming doctors, don't do it the way I did. Break it other ways first. But yeah, anytime you grow, things break. And my biggest goal has been trying to I wanted to get good at what I did to start with. And that was the first thing I put into place. And the first system I worked on is like my first 5 years. And getting that figured out and dialed in. Then I wanted to be able to teach it. And so I spent several years working out the details of what do I do that I just assume people should know that they don't necessarily know, and that then I can impart on others. Then I brought on associates and thought, that's going to help grow the business because they're going to do some of the things I did, and it's going to have capacity, and we're going to grow. And a lot of it didn't grow. And so I was like, now I have to figure out the growth systems. And that's been a lot of what I've been working on. And then also just managing people and the number of employees and people you're managing through all those stages. Like you go from yourself to having a CA to managing multiple CAs to bringing on associates and figuring out what that looks like and how that works and what those contracts will be, what's comfortable for you, what's comfortable for them. So it's just been a iterative process of finding the next hurdle and then getting that going. And I've always wanted to get to the point where I own an actual business. And I know for most people that sounds funny, but I know most chiropractors, we don't own businesses. We own well-paying jobs with support staff.
Yes, there we go. Right.
And the key I would differentiate there is could it run without you there? And that's been the main thing I've been trying to get to, so that it's an actual business. It's an actual system that I can plug people into and have opportunities for upcoming doctors to be able to get in and get a good paying job, not have to worry about all this stuff I've tried to do, but also then be able to grow and expand it and get it really big.
Right.